Tijuana, what's up, my brother? TJ, you realize there's another guy in here from Tijuana too, right? I forgot it. You know what I'm talking about? There's another guy who lives in Tijuana. Where do you live? In Tijuana? I forget the other guy. There's another guy that's from Tijuana. He lives there. I forgot his name. Forget. What's up there, my Momia? Oh, okay. I wondered about that. Says I should visit my. Oh, that's you too, right? Okay. Mike, what's up, Momia? Hogger. You know what? It's asking me to visit my settings or something, the computer, to free up space. But the only thing I got on there is these YouTubes. I mean, I got about 100 of them, more than 100 probably, you know. I don't know. June Art, there you are. Hello. Up for debate. Yeah, I saw the one the other day. Somebody told me about it where they put him on blast for being a rat, right? You're talking about that one? Is that what you're talking about, Momia? The other day where he said he was a rat? Yeah, the paperwork. Yeah. Well, that don't surprise me, man. There's so many people who scream and talk about rats that if you go in their past, you'll find out that they were a rat. This is nothing new in the world, man. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. But I watched it all my life. Even in prison, it was like that, man. Sidewinder, what's up, buddy? Wait for just a few more people to get in here so I can tell you about these brutal murderers. Jesus, man. I was living right next door to them. Right next door. I haven't heard from him in a couple of days. Seems to be doing okay, John. By the way, man, I remember I told you about he tried to shoot the unit manager with a zip gun and he blew his fingernail off and stuff. We were talking about that. And he said he still has a scar. It runs all the way down his thumb. I guess, he really fucked himself up that day, man, you know? All right there, Billy. What's up, bud? Yeah. Did anybody watch my short? I put out a short earlier today talking about that I would be on tonight and that I would be talking about, these serial killers. Yeah. He's got some support, All right, Billy. He has a sister and a niece, and I think he has a couple other people, I haven't talked to him in a couple of days. Oh, you saw it, Jim? All right. Was it inspiring? I hope it inspires some people. Hey, what's it, Big Jim? What's going on? I figured that would, people would see that and want to see the show. Because I thought about them this afternoon, man. And they are an interesting couple of dudes. Really fucking interesting. So there's a lot of people in here now. I'll start now. 5 minutes. I escaped from jail in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And they caught me in Tucson, Arizona. And when I got caught, I gave them a fictitious name, right? So they arrested me under that name and they put me in PIMA County Jail, right? I was waiting to go to trial for some armed robberies that I had committed there in Tucson. And I tried to escape. Once they brought me to court, here's what happened. I gave him the name Stephen Holzer. What the hell happened? I can't remember the specifics, but they took me to court one day. And they thought I was somebody else, right? And when we get down to the courthouse, they dropped the charges. They dropped the charges on, not on me, but on the guy that they thought who I was, right? So I'm thinking, okay, I'm getting ready to walk out, right? And they said, wait a minute, Your Honor, wait a minute. He has a detainer from the state of Utah for second-degree burglary. So I'm like, what the fuck, man? So they take me back to the jail. So watch this. The guy who they thought I was, he was in the next tank over to me. So when they found out that I went in his place, right? The next time he went, they called his name for court. They went into his cell where he really, and he let another guy go in his place, right? The other guy pretended to be him and walked, and they dismissed the second-degree burglary detainer from Utah, and the guy walked straight out of the fucking courthouse free. Now, why couldn't that be me? Why couldn't that be me? You know what I'm saying? I was fucking pissed, man. And when they found out, the guy said, well, I was asleep. I didn't hear you call my name. So the other guy got away. But they didn't do nothing to this guy. I mean, he didn't get in any trouble or anything. But the other guy got caught kind of right away, you know, like within a couple of days they caught him. So it was a big nothing burger. So anyway, one day they call me, right? And I come and they said, you know, pack it up or something. I'm going. So they take me and they put me in the high security, like the lockdown part, like segregation area of the jail, right? So what the fuck's going on, man? What did I do? You know? So I asked the officer, I said, why did they move me, man? I was doing okay, man. I didn't get in any trouble. Why did they move me? He said, I'll find out. He comes back later and he says, you know, you're wanted in New Mexico for escape from jail. That's why they put me there. Well, anyway, I'm living next door to these two guys, Willie Steelman and Doug Gretzler. I don't know who the fuck they are, right? I'm in there with a kid named, I don't know, Juan was his first name. He was half Mexican. He was all right, good kid. We sat there and played cards a lot. But anyway, we're talking. They said that they had him for a couple of murders. Okay. Couple of murders? No, dude, these guys had 17 murders, dude. 17 fucking murders, right? But the ones that they were going to trial for, here's what ended up happening, all right? They met each other. Apparently, Doug was from New York City, the Bronx. And he was like an average student, and he really wasn't no ball of fire. He wasn't a go-getter, you know. He wasn't like a hard worker. He couldn't hold a job. He just kind of lazy and got high and laid around, and you know, he really couldn't make it. He couldn't make anything out of his life. Okay. Apparently his brother was like honor roll student. He was, he was the best. He was the favorite child and all this stuff, right? And, he was like a real, upstanding dude, right? And one day his brother killed himself, right? Over some dumb shit. I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't nothing that anybody should kill himself for, right? Not that there ever is, you know what I mean? But this was really stupid, some nonsense. He killed himself, right? And a few months later, I read this, so this is what I'm telling you what I read. His father got drunk one night and said, "Why did it have to be him? Why couldn't it have been you that killed himself?" Because he was the favorite son. His brother was like the apple of the father's eye. Can you imagine your father getting drunk and telling you something like that? You know what I mean? He probably already had low self-esteem, right? It didn't help none that his father told him, "Why couldn't you have killed yourself instead of your brother?" Anyway, no matter what he did, man, it wasn't good enough. So, he sort of took off and just started getting high, bumming around the country and stuff, right? And eventually he ended up in Denver. And I think that's where he met Willie Steelman. Now, Willie was a wild motherfucker, man. He was pretty tall. Both of them were real skinny guys, man. But Willie was like 6-something, right? He had a fucking fuzzy head of hair, man, like a real curly head of hair, It's kind of a weird looking dude. And I guess they just, I always wondered how two people that were that violent could meet each other. And, how does that happen? How do two violent animals, meet and become, like a pair of serial killers, right? That's what they became. And here's what ended up happening. I'll give you the whole thing in a nutshell. They killed a total of 8 people in Arizona, okay? And then they went to like Victorville, Lodi area of California, and they killed a whole family, 9 people at one time, including like 3 juveniles. One was 15, one was 10, one was 7. I mean, they just killed the whole family. Kids were sleeping in the beds. They shot them in their heads and everything. It was horrible, horrible. Put them all in a closet. Like they had like, I don't know, like 7 of them, 6 of them in a closet. They already killed the 3 kids, but the others, and they just boom, 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 just kept shooting them and killed all of them, man. It was crazy. It was disgusting. Now, the ones that they killed in Arizona, it was a hit and miss. Like some people, they would rob them, and let them go. And some people, they would kill them. So it was no rhyme or reason to what they were doing. They didn't have a plan. Some people just got lucky. It was a random thing. Like, oh, do we kill this one? Now let's let him live. What about this one? And we'll think about it. Yeah, let's kill him. It was really that random. It didn't really matter much. What do we have for breakfast this morning? Like, let's kill that one. Okay. They were pretty bad, man. They were awful. And they killed this couple, I guess the Salzbergs or something was their name, in Tucson. And they took like a clock radio. I mean, just petty stuff, man. Just enough money to just eat and maybe get a shot of dope. It was nothing big, man. It was nothing big. And they were just doing it, man. And the next day, well, we'll start all over again. Who knows what they'll run into. So the 8 at one point, they knew some people. They were kind of friendly with some people, right? And they ended up killing some of their friends. So then they thought about it and they said, they know us. And when they find out that their friends got murdered, they're going to know that we did it. So we got to go ahead and kill them before they find those bodies and go to the police. These are their friends. So they found their friends, and before they could find the other bodies of the people that they had introduced them to, they killed them. Oh man. But anyway, there was no way that they could try them for all these murders, all right? What ended up happening was they were in Sacramento, all right? They were at this cheap hotel, right, in Sacramento. And a newspaper article came out with their pictures on it, right? And, so they left, and then they decided to do what they were going to move to another location or whatever. And Willie stayed with this girl. This girl was she was like a massage parlor girl. Back in the days we used to go to the massage parlor, and you get what do they call it, a happy ending, release, whatever. You know what I mean? She's like a prostitute, and so Willie stayed with her, and Doug went back to the hotel to get their belongings, their little knapsack with a few shirts and whatever they owned, right? Because they didn't have much. They were bums. And when he went back to the hotel, they snatched him up. He told them where Willie was, right? So they bring the SWAT team to where Willie's at, and they tell Willie, come out with your hands up, man, So he don't want to come out, right? He's afraid the police are going to kill him, and all this stuff, right? So he made like a deal with the prostitute girl was in there with him, and she's trying to talk him into giving up, but she's scared. She thinks they're going to blow her up too, right? So she talks him into giving up, but he's afraid to come out. So they talk to the police on the phone, and we wanted the fucking newspaper people to be there to witness the whole thing, so that they couldn't just kill Willie and say, oh, he shot us first or whatever, So that's what happened. Like, they were announcing on the radio that they had him in the girl's apartment, and he was being surrounded, and he was gonna give up as long as the girl went first. She got out. She was safe. But then he came out, and the cameras were there and everything, so he didn't have to worry about getting killed by the police. Thank you, dude. Yeah, Old Country. Oh, yeah, it was a good movie. Yeah, it was a very good movie. Yeah. But so anyway, that was it. And what happened was California didn't have a death penalty at the time. So they made him a deal. You can plead guilty to all these murders. Like, there was 9 people, 9 murders, man, including them little babies and everything, man. Jesus Christ. I can't believe they killed them kids, man. Jesus Christ. Anyway, they gave him 9 life sentences and shot him over to Arizona. And they didn't try him for all the murders. There was 8 murders in Arizona. They only tried him for 2, the Salzburgs. And they only needed to try him for 2. You know what I mean? There's only so many death penalties you can get, and obviously they were found guilty, right? There was no chance that they would be. They both gave statements admitting everything. Doug tried to put the most of the weight onto Willie. He said Willie was the one, who made the decision to kill the people, and he just was there. At first he didn't admit to doing any of the murders. But then eventually he did admit to being part of some of the murders, although Willie was the driving force, you know, behind the murders. Willie was a little more bloodthirsty. Anyway, I met him, you know, they were next. They had a big ass knife in the cell too. They showed it to me, right? Anyway, they wouldn't let him come out with anybody else. But okay, so anyway, they get the death penalty. Anyway, I got 15 to 20 years, right? So I go up to the state prison, right? And while I was in diagnostic, they let me, you know, they hired me to help them feed death row, right? So like the adjustment center. The adjustment center is where they have death row, long-term segregation, and all that stuff. And when I got there was Willie Steelman. He had been convicted. He was pacing back and forth in the cell, right? Back and forth, back and forth. You could tell he was like a caged animal, you know. He just got the death penalty, right? He told me, Doug snitched on me. He tried to put all the blame on me. What do you want me to do, motherfucker? I mean, I can't help you. Killed all them people, man. Don't blame it on nobody else, you fucking idiot. Jesus Christ, man. Anyway, you know, I was only there for about 8 months because I already had my federal time before I escaped. So the feds had first dibs on me. So the feds finally came and got me and took me back into the federal prison system. And I never saw those guys again. Willie died on death row of liver cancer. He had liver cancer. And Doug finally got executed. I think he spent about 25 years on death row before they finally gave him the lethal injection. And he said before he died, I think his last statement was that he was really, really sorry. Really, really sorry? Dude, you killed 17 people. It's not like you killed one person. You know what I mean? You killed women and children and everything. Oh my God, man. What kind of motherfucker? He didn't say he was. He said, I want you to know I'm from the depths of my soul. I am so fucking sorry. It just wasn't enough, bro. It just wasn't enough. I don't know. It just wasn't enough, man. I don't know what to say, bro. Really. I don't believe in the death penalty. I don't believe in it. But if, you know, and that's the story. I don't know anything else to say. Robert Lee Willie? No, I don't know him. Altogether, man, they killed 17 people, Tijuana. 17. In 21 days. That's less than a month. That's 3 weeks. My goodness, man. Oh, my God, dude. What's up, T-Mac? What's up, Jim Joyce? Jesus Christ. That's a killing spree there, buddy. Ooh. How do you meet? How does that work? How does the universe find two people that fucking insane and match them together? How does that happen? You know what I mean? It's fucking insane. And they didn't get nothing. I think the one score they made, the last one where they killed all 9 people, they got $4,000, which in today's world would be about 25,000, right? But they killed 9 people at that fucking farmhouse, man. It's fucking insane, bro. I didn't like Willie Stillman at all. I didn't. Doug was a little different, man. He seemed like he might have had a little bit more common sense, and maybe I don't know. He just didn't seem as evil as Willie. You know what I mean? What do you guys think, man? Anybody want to add anything? What's up there, everybody? What's going on? What's that supposed to mean? Chiller. I got to say one thing, bro. It is, isn't it? Sad. The book they wrote a book about it. It was the name of the book. I'm gonna find it. Where the hell's the name of the book? They wrote a book about this. What the fuck is it? The fuck did I do with that thing? A sadness in a breath or something like that. I'm gonna find. I'll figure it out real quick. What is the name of the book about Willie Stillman and Douglas Gretzler? What is the name of the book about Willie Stillman and Douglas Gretzler? Come on, you fucking piece of shit. What's the name of the book about Willie Stillman and Doug Gretzler? You got to scream at the phone. You got it, Sidewinder. Where sadness breathes. You might like it. I don't know, June, if you like that kind of story or not. It's called Where Sadness Breathes. Not really. Not really, Boots. Not really. Okay, what's her name? Jim. Is she in the chat? I forgot what the question was, June. What are you responding to? Oh, you're gonna watch. You're gonna read the book. Is that what you're saying, or what? I'm not sure what you're saying. You do what? I mean, guards are pretty much guards. You know what I mean? If you don't fuck with them, they don't fuck with you. You know. I don't really interact. Just there. You know what I mean? Guards are just there. They got a job to do. Oh, you do? Okay. I'm not debating that guy, man. He's a liar, brother. He's a fucking liar. He's never gonna fucking tell the truth. You can't debate a guy that won't accept the truth. What the fuck do I look like debating a guy that won't accept the truth, man? Salute. Not really, bro. Not really too much about the NF, really. Oh, that's what you said. Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go, June. As Sadness Breathes is the name of the book. As Sadness Breathes. Wow. Talk about sadness. Hey, man, they practically filled up a graveyard, dude. You know what I mean? A small one. Okay. Say hello. Hey, Betty. How are you? You're from Philly too, I guess, right? Me too. Well, I'm not from here, but I live here. Um, you know, in the Fed joint, there's a lot of dangerous guys, right? If they were to ever be in a general population setting of a United States penitentiary, yeah, there you go, Jim. Um, they wouldn't last. Doug Gretzler and Willie Steelman, although they were dangerous people in the free world, were not dangerous in jail. Prime, you understand what I'm saying? Their crimes were so they were cowards for one thing, you know, um, and they killed children. Okay, nobody wants people to be around people like that. Criminals that commit those kinds of crimes, they would have gotten hurt. They would have gotten hurt. They would have never made it on the general population of a prison yard. They never would have made it. Nobody would have gave them any respect. You know it, Sidewinder. Nobody gives the respect to people who do that, man. Because first of all, I mean, what's the point? What was the point of killing these people? You know what I mean? Uh, I get it. There's sometimes somebody does get killed in a robbery, but you women and children, and you didn't get nothing, man. I mean, they didn't make any money. They were scrambling for a couple of dollars, and all they were getting was a couple of dollars, and they were just killing people who were not bothering anybody. Children, what did the kids do? Why were the kids were sleeping when they got shot? It doesn't make any sense, man. So no, they would not have gotten any respect. They would have gotten killed if they came into the federal prison system. They could not make it in general population. They would have had to stay on lockup for their entire life. Entire life. And, that's what they would have had to do. And that's that. That's the way that goes, man. Dumb recognize dumb, like the guy said, dumb. Who was it? Mike Shane said, "Dumb attracts dumb." couldn't. Yeah, that's about the most honest thing anybody could say. These two motherfuckers Makes you wonder, doesn't it? How the universe manifests this type of shit. You know what I mean? It's crazy. What's up, Judge? Where were they from? Um, Doug Gretzler was from New York City, the Bronx, and Willie Steelman was from he was from Lodi, California. You know, he had been in a mental institution. He was like he'd done all kind of little dumbass crimes, you know, petty crimes. But yeah, Tolomeo, brother Tolomeo, is that it? How do you spell that? Huh? You mean you worked with him? Where at? Where'd you work with him at, Jim? They were young. They were real young, Mike. I think 22. I think Doug was 22 years old. Willie Stillman was born in 1945. 55, 65. I think Willie Stillman was Willie Stillman. What are you saying, Mike Shane? That they're hillbillies? Nah. I mean, he was from the Doug Gretzler was from the Bronx, New York. Willie is from Lodi, California. Willie was, I mean, Doug was 22 years old. I think Willie was a few years older, maybe 27 or 28. Toledo, you said 80. What are you talking about 80? I forgot the question what you're responding to. That happens a lot when I'm doing these live shows. I can't remember what question people are responding to. Yeah, I don't think Willie was much more than 28 years old, you know. Oh, that's right, Jim. You're a seaman, huh? Charlie, how are you? Thank you for asking, bro. I'm doing well. Oh man. So he was from Philly then, this crazy motherfucker you're talking about, Jim? The guy you're talking about, George George Henyard. Okay. Let me see. Who is George Henyard? Henyard. Okay. I'm just reading about it a little bit. Oh, he was the McDonald's killer? What's up, Davey? So he went into I think I remember that. He went into like a McDonald's. I do. I think I remember that. Really? Really? Man, I'll tell you a strange story, man. This happened out in the middle of like Illinois. And, you know, yeah, it's strange. That's what I'm asking too, King. That's what I'm asking. Strange how they hooked up. Anyway, there was this kid, right? He was from a nice middle class family, and he went out and caught a murder case, right? So his family, you know, um, they bail him out of jail. Okay, Jim. So anyway, they bail him out of jail, right? So, like I say, he lives in a very nice middle class neighborhood. So the parents decide to take a vacation, and they left him and his sister home alone while they went to vacation. Now he's out on a murder, uh, on bail for murder, waiting to go to trial. His sister's sitting there. I don't know. She's just minding her own business, and he decides to rape, mind you, and then killed his sister. Raped her first, and then killed her. Right? The family, when the mother and father came home, that's what they found. All right, and I think just by saying that one word, I think I just got myself demonetized. You can't use the R word on these channels, or they won't monetize your video, man. You understand? Um, anyway, that's what he did to his own sister, and then he killed her. So at that point, I think he got, the family disowned him, right? And he got life, and he'll never get out. Yeah. That's a sick man, too. Who does that to their own sister? Crimes against family members are really crazy. Parents killing their children or children killing their parents. Those are the things that surprise me most when I hear about them. Maybe it's because I can't imagine anybody hating their family that much. I was always mad at my family. They never wanted me to do any things I wanted to do, you know. But I never thought of killing them, you know. I don't think they ever thought of killing me either. They might have wanted to beat me up sometimes, but it's pretty sick, man. The world's a sick place. Well, I finally got my car fixed. Rack and pinion cost me a fortune, which I don't have. All right, guys, I guess I'll shut it down now. I've been on here for 45 minutes. I'll see you tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. Try to figure out another interesting topic to talk about. I was going to try to. There was a couple of people that I kicked out of my show because they said stupid things. I wish I could remember, or I wish I knew how to unblock them, because I'm going to give them a chance to come back on and explain themselves. Oh yeah, I was an evil kid. I think I was an asshole. Yeah, All right, take it easy, Mac. You know, yeah. All right. See you tomorrow.